Hi, I'm Anna and this is Amelie, and we're big fans of the farm. I worked as an apprentice at Simple Gifts in 2013, and I didn't live at the farmhouse, but I spent a lot of time there. We would have lunch together every day, made by one of the apprentices, and it was a really delicious meal and a really good time to relax and get to know each other and build up our team building. Just get really get to know each other and work well together. So I really treasure those times. It was also a place where we would go and crash sometimes after a long day at work and watch a movie or hang out, celebrate a birthday. And while I didn't live there, I know that it was really important for the rest of the apprentices that worked with me. There's no way that they could have afforded working on the farm without having a place to stay. So I think it's so important. I love the farm so much that my husband and I actually bought a house right next to the farm from a different apprentice, Ben, who had worked at the farm as well. And now we have our little girl, and she gets to enjoy the farm as well. I'm just very thankful for the community that's at North Amherst Community Farm, and for the opportunity to have been able to do an apprenticeship. And I think that the farmhouse, the farmhouse is a big part of that for so many people, and it allows them to be a diversity of farm workers.
Hi everybody, I'm Ben, and my wife and I, Laura, were at Simple Gifts Farm for 5 years. And of that 5 years, we lived in the farmhouse for 2.5, I believe, maybe just 2. Anyway, it was a very critical piece to making it possible for us to begin our journey into farming. It was an opportunity that if we didn't have it, we probably wouldn't be farming now, honestly. And we lived in the upstairs apartment with our kids. We thought it was great. We were on the farm, we were living the life that we've been dreaming of. So we are like super supportive and excited that you guys are considering making some renovations and improving the house for future farmers. So that living in the house gave us the opportunity to begin farming, and here we are now. We've purchased about a year ago. We're almost to the year anniversary of purchasing our own farm.
Hi, my name is Emily Hale-Sills. I was an apprentice here about 4 or 5 years ago, and I learned so much here. It was one of the first places where I was handed vague instructions deliberately and told to go figure something out. And that was a pretty huge learning curve, and I loved it. I particularly liked how involved I was in the farm all the time, because living in the house right there, you know, A, you've got a 20-second commute to work, and B, when the oxen get out in the middle of the night on a Sunday, it's, you know, your job to go find them. So you know what's going on all the time, and you get a sense of the full range of work that goes on the farm, and you get to pet some cows. It's like, you know, what else could you want?
Hi, I'm Brooke. I lived in the farmhouse at Simple Gifts circa 2008. I couldn't have landed in a better spot, and it wouldn't have been possible for me to be an apprentice with student loans and etc. Without the opportunity to have the housing available to me. It also helped me form really strong relationships with the people that we were working with day in and day out. I have lifelong friendships to this day with some of the folks that lived in the farmhouse with me. Behind me you see my garden. Even working full-time, I can't take my hands out of the dirt these days, and I'm really grateful for the opportunities that I had working at Simple Gifts and living in the farmhouse.
Hi everyone, I'm Cara Roselle. I'm the owner-operator of New Wendell Farm in Wendell, Mass, and I also work in an educational capacity with NOFA Mass. So I myself moved into the farmhouse in March of 2012. The house has now been occupied for over 10 years by the farm's apprentice crew, and before that it was occupied by the family who owned the land. So really the dust of that land is stamped into those floorboards permanently. Living on the farm was an integral part of the learning experience for me. From the kitchen I could see our herbs and early flowers. From my bedroom window I could see the fence charger that kept our livestock safe. And if a cow or a sheep got out after hours and Dave or Jeremy needed help getting it back in, they called us and we just put on our boots and walked right out to help. So because we lived physically on the farm, we became a part of the living system of that land. We could closely observe the effects that weather would have on the crops, and the effects of pest pressure and human impacts. We could point things out to each other because we lived together and we talked about what we learned while we cooked together and made coffee in the kitchen. Living on the NACF land makes the apprenticeship program possible. It's a major part of the personality of the farm, and I don't think its mission, the mission of the apprenticeship program, can really be separated from the mission of NACF as a whole. To me, it's a critical synergy point in the partnership between Simple Gifts Farm and the NACF. We really became physically part of the farm, and we noticed things because we were there all the time. We noticed the changes of phases of the crops. We noticed the impacts of weather and pest pressure and human impact on the crops on a day-to-day basis. And because we all lived together in the farmhouse, we could talk at the end of each day about what we noticed and what we were learning. It was really, the farmhouse was absolutely essential to that experience of being on the farm, because the farmhouse is part of that farm. Living on the NACF land makes the apprenticeship program possible. It's a major part of the personality of the farm, and I don't think that the mission of the apprenticeship program can be easily separated from the mission of NACF as a whole. To me, it's a crucial synergy point between the partnership, in the partnership between Simple Gifts Farm and the NACF. The farmland now I know is permanently preserved, which is amazing. It's an amazing accomplishment, and it's my hope that the farmhouse and the apprenticeship program will be permanently preserved as well.